Hi, I'm Zanbria Asante, and I'm currently 23 years old. At this moment in my life, I've been more focused on my career and building my independence. Currently, I'm not prepared for the monumental change in bringing a child into this world. But that doesn't mean I'm not concerned with the outstanding infant and maternal mortality rate in the African American community. Before addressing the issue at hand, let's start from the beginning. Since the dawn of time, women have been bringing life into the world. This beautiful, painful, and monumental moment is a part of life to procreate. Thankfully, as time has gone on, the birthing process has been transformational, as technology and education has made this natural stage in life a less threatening issue. Or, has it really changed much? America is a leader in a multitude of sectors like technological innovation, military spending, and even medical research. But, on the flip side, America also leads as being amongst the most industrialized nations in the world to have the highest maternal mortality rate. Women in the United States are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from childbirth compared to other women in the developed world. And within those statistics, the African American community, along with other minority groups, are affected the most by this life-threatening reality. According to the New York Times, Black women are 3.3 times more likely than white women to suffer a pregnancy-related death. As if these numbers aren't scary enough, the same implications are the reason Black infants are twice as likely to die before their first birthday compared to any other race in America. The underlying racial biases in America towards the African American community truly feeds into the high rate of women dying from childbirth. For every 100,000 white women who give birth, 13 women die. And the number is even lower for Hispanic women, where for every 100,000 Hispanic women who give birth, 11.4 women die. Compare these numbers to the African American community, where for every 100,000 Black women who give birth, 42.8 women die a year. You might be wondering, how can this still be an issue in America? We have some of the top medical schools in the world, and we are constantly evolving in medical technology. Well, the problem with the infant and maternal mortality rate in the African American community does not lie in the lack of doctors or technology made available. In fact, CDC's research suggests that more than half of the maternal deaths in the community are in fact preventable. The root of the problem is structural racism in the healthcare and social service delivery system, which means that African American women often receive poor quality care than white women, which in turn leads to the denial of care when African American women seek help when enduring pain. Because the root of the problem is not well known to people outside the African American community, many people automatically think that the problem lies in the lack of funding in the medical industry, and they believe that the maternal mortality rate is higher amongst less educated women. However, the United States spends $543 billion on research and development in the medical field. And in terms of educational attainment amongst women, this is not the foundational problem to this issue, since a white woman with less than a high school education still has a better chance of living through childbirth than a Black woman with a college degree. And if the issues solely lie within the lower socioeconomic class of women, then how could the biggest artist in history and one of the highest paid female tennis players in the world be amongst the 50,000 women who suffer from severe maternal morbidity? That's because there's no easy fix to this situation. Being amongst the highest level of the socioeconomic class grants you with the top-of-the-line doctors and best medical practices, but that does not necessarily equate to better treatment. Since there isn't a quick fix to a problem of this magnitude, there needs to be a continuous change in order to find a solution. Well, with the help of the Beckhardt-Harris change model, there could be advancements made to eliminate this problem. There is already dissatisfaction with the status quo in the African American community that lies within each socioeconomic class, age, and level of education. And although celebrities like Serena Williams have brought attention to this issue by sharing her story, we still need men and women from other races to raise awareness. Women should not be the only ones speaking out about this problem. When women die from giving birth, this changes the family dynamic and can have a strain on the partner or spouse of the woman. Men like Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, have spoken up about the effect negligence from doctors can have on Black women's childbirth experience, and he is asking for more men to also play a part in this need for change. Due to the widespread of research in this field, Black women have been more vocal about the subtle forms of racism they've experienced in the healthcare system, which in turn has led to the formation of nonprofits across America that work towards implementing programs and pushing for policy reformation to lower the maternal mortality rate amongst the African American community. Which leads me to the vision that we need to work towards. What if we could reduce the infant and maternal mortality rate in the African American community to 0 in the next 5 years? In order to reach this vision, it's crucial that we make it clear what the following first steps entail. We first need to resolve the foundational cracks in this issue. Policy solutions need to prioritize communities of color and their realities to fully address racial disparities in maternal and infant mortality. Without this step, everything that follows is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. The next step would be for every state in America to mandate and fund fetal and infant mortality review committees. With the help of these committees, hospitals and emergency rooms will be held accountable for any preventable deaths to mothers and babies during and after childbirth, which will help bring the statistic of 60% of preventable deaths lower and lower until it ultimately hits 0. The following step in the process should include training providers to address racism and build a more diverse healthcare workforce. Thankfully, there are already so many nonprofits across America that solely focus on improving this area throughout a wide range of medical facilities. The goal is for the dissatisfaction, vision, and the first steps to be greater than the resistance. The reason the infant and maternal mortality rate in the African American community continues to rise is because people look at the statistics mentioned in the beginning and determine the numbers are not critical enough to warrant change. Lowering the infant and maternal mortality rates in America is not just a win for the African American community, but a win for everybody. It's going to be an uphill battle to get people to finally prioritize solving this issue. But I'm optimistic about the future of change, and I look forward to seeing the statistics of the infant and maternal mortality rates in America trend towards 0 over the years.